dark ambient music, slow zoom into an old abandoned house. There are places where time stands still, where the walls remember every scream, every secret, every sin. There are places where the living should not go, where the dead refuse to rest, places where death lingers like a scent, a smell so stale it's almost sweet, places where the veil between our world and the next is paper thin, and sometimes, in those places, we find things that were never meant to be found, memories left behind. Sometimes those memories are best left undisturbed. This is the story of a house no one dared to enter, because the woman who died inside never really left. There are places where time stands still, where the walls remember every scream, every secret, every sin. There are places where the living should not go, where the dead refuse to rest, places where death lingers like a scent, a smell so stale it's almost sweet, places where the veil between our world and the next is paper thin, and sometimes in those places we find things that were never meant to be found, memories left behind. Sometimes those memories are best left undisturbed. In 2016, a young couple, Josh and Emily, moved into an old Victorian house in Pennsylvania. It was cheap, too cheap. The locals avoided it, called it the widow's house. But Josh and Emily weren't scared of some old wives' tale. They had plans for the house. They were going to fix it up, make it their home. But the house had other plans. On their first night, they heard footsteps upstairs. Heavy footsteps. Slow, dragging steps. Footsteps that couldn't be explained. They looked around. Everything was in place. Nothing had been moved. They were alone in the house. At least they thought they were alone. Over the next few days, odd things happened. The attic door would swing open by itself. Sometimes they'd hear a woman softly crying. Sometimes they'd feel a cold hand on their shoulder, a whisper in their ear. Then they'd wake up, and Emily would be standing by the mirror, mumbling in a voice that wasn't hers. But when they asked her about it the next day, she wouldn't remember. Then Emily found a key hidden behind the fireplace. It fit perfectly. It opened a door they never noticed before. Behind a bookshelf was a small room, untouched by time. The wallpaper was peeling, but the furniture was perfectly preserved. A rocking chair still moving back and forth as if someone had just stepped out. Dozens of old dolls, all facing the same direction, their eyes staring blankly ahead. And on the wall, scratched into the wood, were the words, "I told him not to leave me." That night, Josh woke up to find Emily standing by the mirror. Her eyes were wide, but empty. She kept whispering, "He said he loved me. Then he left me." The next morning, she didn't remember a thing. She looked at Josh, confused, and he lied. He said it was all in her head. They needed to get out of there. But when he tried to leave, the front door wouldn't open. Every window was nailed shut from the inside. They were trapped. And then they heard her. No longer upstairs. She was here with them. In the attic window, a woman in black stared down at them. The fire department never found a body inside. And weeks later, someone reported hearing sobs coming from the ashes. Some houses don't want to be left alone, and some spirits never forgive. If you ever feel like you're being watched at night, maybe it's not just your imagination. Like, subscribe, new follow me on social media, and leave a comment down below with a place you've seen or heard of that may be haunted. Who knows? Your story could become an episode, and if you love scary stories, stay tuned for more. Sleep tight, because darkness never ends.